Welcome back to the Switch Sports Golf Challenge series. This is day 5 of the 9 Eagles Challenge, so I'm playing the standard 18 holes from the sports selection mode, so I'm getting completely random conditions, so wins are completely random, and the holes that can have random pins will have those random pins. Thank you so much to everybody who's been tuning into these. These are very fun to make. I hope they're equally entertaining to watch. And we'll start with hole 1 here. So we have that front pin and 2-mile-an-hour winds.
Nice shot.
If we're gonna make 9 eagles, we really have to pick up a couple in these first few holes where the winds aren't too strong and the holes are a little bit easier. And this one feels like it presents an opportunity here. I think I'll want to adjust slightly that way. Slightly to the right, or to the left, I mean. And I think that gives it a pretty good shot. Okay, that felt like a good shot. Will we get the bounce that we want? It looks like it. Will we hold it? We will. Okay, a nice eagle on a first hole that wasn't like the easiest, but probably adjacent to the easiest possible conditions. So front pin and 2-mile-an-hour winds. So a little more precision than maybe if it was 0 miles an hour, but we sink it. Okay, moving on to hole 2 with 1 eagle on the scorecard. Feels good. Now I want to make sure we get the power right here. The power on this one is so precise and so important to try to hold this out. Okay, that felt good. Are we on a good line? I think so. I actually can't quite tell. Oh, that looks promising. Oh, we'll lip it out, though. When that hit the fringe, that came out, I mean, with a lot of speed. And the speed kind of helped keep it, like, high enough on the hole where it had a chance, but just a little bit too much speed. And we lip it out, and we have to take a birdie on hole 2. So we're 1 for 2 on eagles. We'll move on to hole 3, where we can hopefully pick up another one. I mean, hole 3 is one that I've gotten fairly good at. Oh, and we have 0 miles an hour, so promising conditions here. As far as the holes that have the same exact pin every time, this is the first one. And I think it's the most accessible pin. It's the easiest one to try to hole out on the shot that you need for eagle from off the green. And so we'll try to take advantage of that. I'm going to send this one as far as I can with the driver. Wherever we end up, fairway, rough, bunker, should be totally fine. With no wind, I'll just have to land this one left of the hole. Okay, so we'll end up in the rough. So I have to land this left of the hole with some spin and the proper power. So about 2 dots of power, maybe a little bit more. And if I land it over there, that should be pretty good. Okay, that felt like a good shot. Looks like a good landing. Looks like a good rollback. And we'll sink it for a nice eagle on hole 3. So 2 eagles in 3 holes. We take advantage of some of the easier holes in this game with some favorable conditions, which we haven't always seen. And we'll move on to the 4th hole, where we'll see 15 miles an hour, kind of in the face, kind of pushing us to the left. I think this adjustment feels about good, if I had to guess. I'll want to make sure I hit this with enough power to get it there.
Nice shot.
Okay, that felt like a good shot. Is it going to have the proper bounce? I mean, that's on the right side of the pin. I think it's just a little too far to the right, though. So, a very precise shot when you're dealing with some moderate wind on hole 4. So that was a tougher one to try to make the hole-in-one on. But we should be able to tap this in for a birdie. And move on to hole 5, which is sometimes a more eagleable hole. It would be nice to pick up a 3rd one. I think if we're going to get to 9 eagles, I probably need to pick up 4 or 5. Definitely 4 on the front. Okay, 9 miles an hour pushing us a little left to right, but more so once we get to that second shot, it'll be tailwind, so I want to keep that in mind. So just make sure we land this on the fairway, safely left of that tree. Those needles shouldn't have, or the pine needles shouldn't have any real effect there with this wind. And now this will be more of a downwind shot on this second one. I'm not sure if we can get it all the way there, but it looks like we can get it pretty close if not. And that's kind of promising. So let's see what we can do here.
Nice shot.
I mean, I gave it the best run I could. 2 full drivers is really all I could do. We'll see where this ends up. This may be a putt. I just don't know. From this front fringe, that's a 21-yard shot. I don't know if the full-powered putter can get there. I mean, if I hit it, like, super hard, like, that hard, maybe? I just don't know. Because this is a straight putt from here. This is intentionally where I left myself. Can this putter get there? I don't want to chip necessarily because we're dealing with wind. I'm going to go for the putt. Maximum power. Blasted up that hill. And it's just a little bit short. So I think that gave me... I mean, it obviously had no chance. Because I hit that well beyond the full power. I mean, I swung that as hard as I could. So I guess it had no chance. But I didn't know that. Now I do. So back of the fringe you can't do. But I thought that maybe had a better chance of sinking than if I chipped that through the wind. So a bit of a missed opportunity on hole 5 there. But we'll have to put that one behind us. What to do about this one? So 4 miles an hour pushing us to the right is a little weird. I'm going to hit that one about that much power. Hopefully it ends up short enough of that tree that that first tree doesn't... Oh, the first tree is going to be directly in our way. Oh, I forgot that that fairway kind of kicks right there. So just anytime you're dealing with... What am I even going to do here? Anytime you're dealing with left to right wind of any sort on this hole, it just becomes brutally difficult to deal with. So I'm going to have to hit this like well that way. Probably with the driver underneath this tree. I mean, it's going to have no chance at eagling. That's the goal of this thing. But maybe I can salvage a chip. 16 yards. I mean, that's going to be not enough distance to put any spin on it. But I guess I kind of have to try. Try to bounce it to a stop and let it roll down that hill a little bit. Okay, that was pretty good. Nice chip and birdie on hole 6 on a little one bounce dunker. All right, we'll move on to hole 7. 2 eagles on the scorecard. We'll see if we can pick up 1 or... I mean, 2 is going to be a tall task. Oh man, look at this wind. 33 miles an hour. That just doesn't make this easy at all. Oh, what do I even do here? I want to go for that short strategy, but it really gives me no chance, because if you look at the pin location, there's no room left of the pin where I'd be coming from. I don't know, this is just going to be a real precise shot. I guess all I can do is just the best I can, so that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully that doesn't reach the rough. Oh, that's not the best line. Okay, it will reach the rough. Now I may have a gap between those trees with the spoon to try to get it there, but this is it's gonna come in so hot when you're not using backspin. Yeah, the spoon's what I'm gonna have to go for. I just don't know if this really has a chance. Just gonna have to try to give it one. Ugh. Annoying hole when it has this maximum wind. Okay, I mean, that's going to hit the green and not bounce super far, so... As far as, you know, trying to save the birdie, I think I did a pretty good job. But not the easiest of conditions. This putt has a little bit of speed to it. Down that hill. Hopefully it curves left. It will. And we'll sink the birdie. So 2 eagles on the front so far. Hole 9, I mean, we have hole 8 first, so we'll have to get through that. However, I have never made an ace on this pin. So, I don't know. I just don't know. We're just going to have to see if we can get lucky here. I mean, the play is probably just 3 dots of power with the 3-iron. Give it some spin. And try to get some luck. That felt pretty good. If that gets a good bounce, it maybe has a chance. Okay, that's a pretty good bounce. Get back up that hill. Roll down. Oh! And to about a foot or so. 2 feet. We'll leave it on the back of that green. Okay. So I gave that a good run. As good of a run as I really ever have. And we'll tap in a birdie, but not an eagle. We need eagles. 10 under through 8 is a pretty good score. We'll move on to hole 9. And just see if we can get some fortune with... I mean, tailwind is really what you want to see. But 0 miles an hour, I mean, that's pretty nice of the game.
Nice shot.
So, we'll see if we can sink one the hard way, I guess, on the 3rd shot. So definitely can't get there in 2. There's really no reason to put this over that water to the right. The fairway is totally fine here. And I mean, there is like a play to try to sink this in 3 from here. But it takes a lot of precision and it's very aggressive. And if I miss it, I'll probably end up about 30 feet away. So just calling that now to keep that in mind. Unless of course I make it. You never know. Okay, we'll give this a shot. So a very aggressive play. Hopefully that holds the green. I'm actually not too sure it will. Oh, I'll hit the pin.
Nice on.
Okay, so that took a big kick to the left off that bounce. And that's kind of what it needed. I was going to really rip back, and I needed to hug that pin as closely as I could in order to let the slope take it back, and that would have hit the pin really hard. But that's kind of what I had to do there. We'll see if we can sink this scary little putt for a birdie. We will. So a nice front 9. I mean, 2 eagles and the rest birdies is a pretty good front. Couldn't take advantage of any of the hole-out opportunities, and we'll now need 7 eagles on the back 9, which is a tall task. We'll get as close as possible. I mean, I'm going to try to play as well as I can, and as aggressively as I can to try to hole out some more of these. So what do we need to do here? I'm thinking, I mean, definitely have to adjust to the right. I'm thinking that's about good. We'll give it enough power to get there. And just try to give it a run by the hole. That looks pretty promising, actually. Oh, and it's just a little too far to the left.
Nice on.
So a precise play. I mean, this green with the elevation change and the slight slope to it makes this a very precise hole out. And not one that I'm going to get every time. I've had some good fortune lately on this hole, but not today. So still only 2 eagles through 10. We'll see if we can pick up a few more on some of these last holes. Okay, so we have 0 miles an hour, so a chance. Okay, a chance. On hole 11 here. Last time I had 0 miles an hour, I think I put this just a little bit too far. So I'll try to keep in mind what power I did that time and just do a little bit less. That felt like a good shot. I think that's good power. I think that's really good power. Will we get the roll back? That looks really good. That looks really good. Oh, and it just doesn't fall.
Nice approach.
So no wind again on 11. And for whatever reason, this pin that we see every time, like I keep putting it so close. all around the hole. In every direction I've been missing that one, but I've yet to put it in the hole, which is what we need to do. Okay, we'll move on to hole 12. We'll put that behind us. We'll see what kind of conditions we have here. Once again, no wind. So just send this out there with the driver. And maybe we'll pick up the albatross here. You never know. I mean, it's a real precise play. It needs to hit the right part of that front fairway. Get a good bounce. It's going to kick very slightly to the right. But it'll take very, very little adjustment. I think that's about good. All right, that felt like a good shot. Hopefully we get the right bounce off of that front fairway. Kick it up into the air. Bounce it off the green. And in for a 0-mile-an-hour albatross on hole 12. So a good round going, despite not necessarily having the eagles that we're looking for. We'll keep it rolling. We have 3 eagles or better on the scorecard. We need a whole bunch more on these last couple of holes. And we'll see... Okay, 15-mile-an-hour winds, not the worst on this hole. We want to land this left of the pin, or excuse me, right of the pin for sure. I'm going to use the 7-iron, the good amount of power, and see if we can just spin this one back and give it a chance.
Nice shot.
Felt pretty good. That looks like a good landing spot. That looks like a really good landing spot. Can we roll it back? Oh, we'll lip it out.
Nice.
Okay, so a missed opportunity there. I mean, not necessarily a missed opportunity, but a missed shot on one that was real close. I'd call 11 a missed opportunity. I'd call this one kind of an unfortunate break with that lip out. So we're 17 under through 13, moving on to hole 14. With some tougher conditions, but not the worst. I think I can just hit this one with a full power driver down there.
Nice shot.
Safely left of all those trees. Just put it in the... Oh, I'll clip the tree. But fortunately, it doesn't matter that much. I'll end up in the fairway. And didn't lose a lot of distance there either. So this is going to move a good amount left to right with this wind and this distance. I'm thinking that's about good. And we'll just give this a chance with the spoon.
Nice shot.
Okay, that felt like a pretty good shot. It looks like it's on a good line if I get a good kick. Oh, it doesn't get that high kick that I often see off of that front fairway. But we'll put it close, 7 feet or so for an eagle on hole 14. A side hill putt that I'll have to be careful of. But we'll sink it, no issues. And we'll get our 4th eagle of the round on hole 14. So 19 under through 14 is a pretty good score I've got going. We'll try to keep that rolling. Hole 15 is often, sometimes an opportunity, but not always the easiest of holes. So if I leave this, I think, full power, a little more to the left, this should be a very pure tailwind second shot. Maybe not fully pure tailwind, but pretty close to it. So it is moving us a little left to right. I'll keep that in mind. And I think the 9-iron might be the play here. This is going to come back down to the right quite a bit on the green. So I want to hit this because of the wind a little bit less than pin high. And just try to rip it back with the backspin.
Nice shot.
Okay, that felt like a good shot. Will it get a proper bounce? Oh, it'll hit the pin.
Nice on.
That looked really good until it wasn't. Fortunately, that wasn't too bad of a pin hit. We'll end up with a makeable birdie putt. The round is still pretty good. But that would have been a cool one to get
Nice birdie.
through some wind on hole 15. So 20 under through 15. We'll move on to hole 16 and see what kind of conditions we have. This hole is so dependent on the conditions. Oh, and 22 miles an hour in the face is... Huh. Can you make this? I actually don't really know. For the sake of this round, because I'm playing pretty well, I'm not going to go for it, but I think I can make that. Now, I've said this plenty of times before, and just failed miserably. So I'm going to learn my lesson from the past and just hit this one safely down the left fairway in the lame way. I like to play aggressively when I'm doing this Eagles challenge, but I'm going to have to try to make the eagle from here. I gave myself the proper tree gap. I mean, it's not the hardest of shots. I don't think the wind's going to push it too much. I think that's about good for adjustment.
Nice shot.
That felt like a pretty good shot. It's on a good line, and it's just going to end up right of the pin. So I gave that a real good chance.
Nice approach.
We'll have an 8-foot uphill putt. At least we're not out of bounds, though. Who knows what could have been. I feel like my eagle shot from there was probably about as close as my shot from the bunker or the short rough would have been.
Nice birdie.
So I think I played that hole pretty well. 21 under through 16. Moving on to 17. We'll see if we can pick up an ace. Just for funsies. Not the best of conditions to do it, though. I think we'll have to use the driver. Take some off of it. Just give this one a chance.
Nice shot.
Okay, that felt like a good shot. Ah, I don't like that line. Yeah, that's going to really launch all the way to the back. I mentally had the spoon adjustment going, and then I forgot to readjust for the driver. That moves a little bit less. So, a real misplay there. I'll have to hit the wedge, and maybe we have the distance to try that little backspin play. It's going to move considerably to the right. But if I can land this left of the pin, the wind is going to keep pushing it to the right. And hopefully it'll come back and have a chance. Okay, that felt like a good shot. Will we get the roll back? Ah, not quite. You just don't get it
Nice approach.
oftentimes. For whatever reason on this green. So we'll have to sink an unfortunate par
Nice par.
on hole 17. We have 4 eagles on the scorecard. Eagles are better, I should say. And we'll move on to 18 and see if we can pick up... Oh, man. Tough wind. So I guess the eagle is still definitely in play. But it would have been fun to try to give this one a run at getting real close. Just going to be tough with this wind, though. Fortunately, I kind of know the play with this wind to put it on this fairway safely. The second shot, though, is going to take a lot of precision. Aiming just a little left of that front right island is usually the safe play when you're dealing with this crazy wind that's like diagonally tailwind and pushing you right to left. Now we'll have to deal with... Okay, I think I'm going to use the 3-iron. Although the 3-iron is probably going to launch, which I don't really want to do. This feels like a decent play. From here... Is the wind going to move this a lot more than I'm thinking? I think it might.
Nice shot.
Alright, that felt like a good shot. It's on a pretty good line. It'll get a good kick, actually. And we'll end up with a good birdie putt. So a pretty well-played hole, I'd say, on some more difficult conditions. And we'll pick up our 5th eagle, unless I blow this one. Right here. Oh, almost blew it. But we make it. We'll end up... What was that? 23 under par. So a pretty good round. I guess I should say a good round. 23 under is a good round. but just not the eagles I was looking for. 1 albatross, 1 par, 5 eagles or better in total. We'll call that a failure today. I mean, we need some real favorable wind conditions, I think, to pick up some eagles on some of these holes that we just aren't going to see most days. We have to take advantage of the day when we do. Today was not that day. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this challenge video. I'll be back tomorrow with another one. We're going to try to get 9 eagles again, and I will see you then.